the amplified classic. And I read first the other amplified before I come to amplified classic. You have the other one. It's the normal one, right? No. No, this is not the normal one. The normal one is not as amplified as praise the Lord. Okay, you don't have that. Okay, I'll just read from here. Praise the Lord. Now that amplified says, blessed and happy are the people who know the joyful sound of the of triumphs. I'm sorry.
Schofield and his crew burning. Oh, I doubt they'll be around to collect.
Council, Dr. Lilo
Good evening, everyone. Can you guys hear me? Please confirm if you can hear me.
Good evening, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. So we'll start the class at 8 o'clock straight. Please, let's try to invite other people on the group. Let's try to remind them about the class so they can join. So I don't know how many people are excited about today's class. We have like a giveaway, They're excited about today's class. Let me see some reaction. You can use the chat box, you can unmute one at a time. Let's see how many people are excited about today's class, because I am really excited about today's class, about the giveaway. Like I can't wait to just share something. I can see Christiana. I know Christiana is here because of the giveaway. Christiana, I can see you. Don't worry. We will reach everybody time. Everybody turn. So if you're excited, can I just see more reaction? Like what are your expectations from today's class apart from the giveaway? What do you guys want to learn? Or what's your expectation like? This is the chat box. Can comment, can unmute. What's your expectation? David, I can see you've unmuted your mic. So what's your expectation? Someone said, I hope to give away scholarship. We'll see about that. We'll see about that. It's like pretty exciting news. We'll see about that if the giveaway is a scholarship or whatever it. Welcome, Glorious. Welcome, Jibola, Daniel, Osaige. I see you. I see a lot of you. I'm pretty excited about this class. I don't know why. Maybe because of the giveaway. I don't know. Me, I like giveaway, Sha. I like giveaway, Sha. I don't know how many people like it. I'm here for the giveaway as well. So I would like, because we have two topics to cover today, so I will just go ahead and start the class immediately. And you can try to still invite more people because we're posting the giveaway soon. We'll be talking about, I feel like when we're about 45 or so or 50, so that people can, everybody can participate and everybody can enjoy what the cheerful giver have decided to give to us today. I'm really excited about this class. I don't know. Yeah, so let me start by introducing myself. My name is Gracie Emmanuel, and I am the facilitator for today's class. So today's class just going to be an exciting one. I'm going to try as much as possible to meet at least try to meet our expectations in a way. For those of you who are here for scholarship, I hope I try to meet expectation and all. But before we go on with today's class, just some little ground rules to keep us through. So please, can you guys confirm you can hear me? Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, just a little house rule. Yeah, so if you know you're not well dressed or you are not in a well area or you're working, please turn off your camera. And as you're joining in the meeting, kindly also turn off your microphone. If you want to talk, you can use the reaction button by raising your hands, and we will try to answer every questions. Also, feel free to type your questions in the chat box. We have some wonderful admins who will be responding to your questions. And I'll also try as much as possible to respond to your questions as well. And because today we'll be talking about two important topics. So we'll try to create like a short period of time for each of like a Q&A session after each presentation. So who can guess like what's the topic for today? Who can just guess like what's the topic for today? What are we talking about?
Cyber awareness.
Okay, nice one. Who else can guess? No wrong answers. Who else can tell us like what's the topic for today or have an idea of what we're talking about today? Hi, please, I like an interactive class. Please, let's try to interact. It's more of a class, more of we learning from each other, not just trying to like teach into this class. So, okay,
Cyber attacks.
wow.
Cyber attacks on different types.
Okay. Someone said cyber attacks. Yes, we're going to talk about cyber attacks. Who else? No wrong answers. Oh, Tim, you can unmute and talk.
Social engineering.
Yeah, social engineering. So, when we're talking about social engineering, like I said, my name is Gracie Emmanuel, and I will be taking this class on social engineering. Now, when you okay, someone else wants to so Honor, before you go ahead, please unmute and quickly talk.
No, I wanted to talk about the topic, social engineering.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, so like I said, we're talking about social engineering, and I'm sure most of us have heard about social engineering at one point or the other. And even if you've not heard, you've heard about the word social and you've heard about the word engineering at some point, maybe differently, chat. But for today's session, we'll be covering definition of social engineering, why is social engineering effective, the phases of the social engineering attack, traits and types of social engineering, the impact of social engineering, and prevention method. So while we're talking about social engineering, I would just like to give you guys one or two interesting facts about this word social engineering. Now, for social engineering, no one is exempted. You can't say, oh, it cannot be me, because everyone is a potential target. And apart from everyone being a potential target, it is much easier for cyber criminals to manipulate a human than a computer network or system. Now, what this means is that to manipulate human is really easy to do that, because the person is also a human and the person would know the right thing to say, the right thing to do. Now, as we go on with this class, I would talk more about how it is much easier to manipulate a human than a computer network or system. Now, do you know that over 70% of all data breaches are due to social engineering? Wow, that's like quite a really high number. And also, do you know social engineering is like the #1 cyber threat faced in Nigeria today? Not just in Nigeria, in Africa, and also in the world. Because before any cyber attack, there's always, or in every cyber attack, there's always a particular form of social engineering in each of these attacks. Now, you'll be wondering, what is social engineering? How does social engineering concern us? We're just here to learn cybersecurity. But then let me explain what social engineering is. So, psychologically, we all carry a powerful tool called trust. Now, what trust does is that it increases our comfort level to allow us to speak and act more freely. Now, let's say I want to speak to Honor, or I'm free with Honor, and I decide that, okay, Honor, what's up? Or we met at first time, and then we vibe differently. And before you know, we start sharing little memories and details of our lives. Now, this is what, and then I begin to build a trust with Honor. Is this trust can either make me or mar me, depending on who Honor is and what it decides to do with the information I'm giving. Please kindly mute your mic. Thank you. We'll get a question like that, but just mute your mic for now. Now, like I said, trust makes us feel comfortable and it allows us to speak freely and more comfortable with people. Now, imagine if someone developed an algorithm that would create trust as human relationships do. Now, what this algorithm would make the human do is that it makes a part of the trust equation vulnerable. Now, this kind of manipulation is what we call social engineering. Now, what is social engineering? Social engineering is a psychological manipulation of people into performing actions, making security mistakes, or divulging confidential and sensitive information. Please, if I'm too fast, please let me know. If I'm too slow, please let me know. And also, if you have more questions, you can also let me know as well. Now, like I said, social engineering is the manipulation of people. Now, I read somewhere where they call social engineering the hacking of humans. Because basically, like I said, it's much easier to hack a human than to hack a system. Because now social engineering strive on interactions between people, between friends, between different systems. It has to go with a particular interaction. Now, let's say I want to hack someone's system, and I decide that okay, how can I get information about this person, or what can I do to get to know more about this person? First of all, I will try to, even if, let's say, for instance, I want to use LinkedIn to connect to someone. So before connecting to the person, I would do my own research, try to read more about the person, try to find out more details about the person, and then I come up and try to be nice and try to like form a sort of interaction with the person. So I become the person's friend or so. And in the process of we interacting, the person might get too comfortable, or I don't know, the person might just become vulnerable because we are now close and we reveal some certain things. I might even give me his or her ATM card to withdraw at some point, depending on how close we become. Now, social engineering or social engineers, they have two goals in mind. Now, these two goals are based on what they want. Now, it's either they are just there to disrupt, to scatter everything, to cause you inconvenience, or they are there to steal your valuable or information from you. Now, let's say I want to hack into a company. Let's call the company ABC. I'm not talking of ABC Transport, but let's just say I want to hack into a company ABC now, and I'm like, okay, what do I want to gain from ABC? Do I just want to? Am I a staff that they sacked without any notice, or I just want to obtain money because I see that they've made a whole lot of profit? Now, after I decide that okay, maybe I want to just cause chaos in that company, I would carry out a social engineering attack just to see how they feel because I'm angry at them, or just to see if how much I can obtain from them by selling their information on the dark web. Now, these are the two things that a social engineer has in mind when he's carrying out an attack. Now, also, a common target of social engineering attack in an organization could be the help desk personnel or customer service, could be the technical support, executive, even up to the CEO. So social engineering, I can decide that, okay, this is my target. And it's not just to top organizations, it's not just to businesses alone, even as individuals as well. Now, you might wonder like, okay, if this is happening, so why is a social engineering attack so effective? Or why are people still carrying out this, giving out information? Now, it is often said that the human factor is the most susceptible factor in any cyber attack, meaning the humans are the weakest link. Now, just because humans are the weakest link doesn't mean that a social engineer cannot still do its work, even if the human decides to trust less or put out less. The social engineering attack would always happen every day, every time, every minute. And trust me, once this happens, billions of naira, billions of dollars happen all the time, get missing all the time. Like total loss of financial gains happen all the time. Now, it is also difficult to detect a social engineering attack or attempt. So even if we say we want to do this, use this step to prevent this step, a social engineering attack would always happen. You don't know who you're falling victim of. You don't know through which way the social engineer is going to decide to make you his or her target. Now, another thing is that if there is no specific software or hardware to defend against a social engineering attack. In case of other cyber attacks, we'll see that, okay, they will say, download antivirus, do this, do that. And when you do this, you can prevent yourself from getting attacked, you can prevent yourself from getting from falling a victim. Now, in the case of social engineering, there is no, will I say, physical hardware or software that can prevent you from this. They can only try, but then they are humans and we would always lose guard at some point. I don't know, are you guys following this class? Do you have any question at this point before I go on?
No.
Okay, yeah. So remember I said a social engineering attack centers on human interaction. Now, what social engineering or how this attack takes place is that it makes use of certain traits in human. Now, these traits are not just traits that you say, okay, somebody can prevent. Of course, we all have emotions, and through emotions, we can get social engineered at any time, any day, or let's say, okay. So now, one thing I would say, one particular thing is heightened emotions. Like I said, heightened emotions gives the attacker the upper hand in any interaction, and you're more likely to take irrational or risky decision or action when you are feeling a certain kind of way. Now, the following emotions are used in like an equal measure to convince you. We have desire. This alone, can you guys still hear me? I feel like my network is bad. So I would continue to say, okay, so like I said, social engineering strives more on human emotion. Now we have desire. Obviously, every one of us here has like the desire to become someone or have a certain amount of money in our account. Or let's just say, if you're Nigerians, remember like a few weeks back when we have like dollars rising really high against Naira, at that point, many of us wished that we were earning in foreign currency because of the rates at which the dollar was really going up at that point. Now, if a social engineer wants to make you his or a target at that point, to say, okay, yes, this country or these people, many of them would fall victim. I feel like many of them would fall victim of so and so. Let me just try to create like a want that would make many of them, just click or do a particular thing. So we have desire, like I said. We also have fear. Now, fear in the sense that if you suddenly get a message or you suddenly get a call from someone telling you that, oh, if you don't do this at this particular point, you might lose this or you might lose that. Now, let's say, let's see, I want to make Oluwaseun my target at this point now. And I'm like, okay, what can I do that will make Oluwaseun fall like a victim to what I'm about to do? I would create a sense of fear in him by maybe saying that, Oluwaseun, if you don't upgrade and so thing, your account will be closed. Now, if Oluwaseun is not careful at that point, Oluwaseun will be scared. You'll be like, oh, I don't want to lose, let's say I don't want to lose my Amazon account, or I don't want to lose my bank account. So let me quickly do this thing so that I will not forget and they will not close so and so thing off. Now, we also have greed. This one, greed, is something that every one of us at some point in our life, or even presently, we see in the back of it. Many times we say, oh, if I'm walking on the road, let me just see a bag of money and let me pick the money. It should just be $1 million or something. So most times this greed is there. It's part of us, it's part of our emotion. And then an attacker can use this greed against you by saying, congratulations, you've won such amount of money, click the link to redeem your prize, or provide us with your details so that we can send the money to you. Or in the case of MMM, where they say bring in 1,000 to get 10,000. I'm sure many of us at that point, we all did that. I won't lie, I was once a victim of MMM. I'm not going to lie, because it's money, it's something exciting. And because we're human, we want this. Who doesn't want extra money? But let's be careful of what we click. Let's be careful of how we decide to use our greed in any way or in any form. Yeah, like I said, we also have urgency. Now, remember when I was talking about fear? In every phishing or in every social engineering attack, there's always a sense of urgency. They want you to do it as quick as possible. They create the fear in you that if you don't do this, if you don't do that, this will be closed. They give you like a time limit, limited time, why stock lasts or something. You would always see it there. They create like a window for you that, okay, and you are just human, just like, oh, if I don't do this thing closes, I'm in trouble. Or if you're in a kind of country where once they create like a time limit for you and you don't do that thing or carry out that action on time, you get to pay like some amount of money, sort of. So this urgency sometimes or most times is in a social engineering, in every social engineering attack, and then could put you or expose you to a whole lot of trouble. Now, like I said, we have trust. Now, because as humans, we strive on being comfortable with people. We strive on trusting, or like I say, relying on someone that we know or someone we don't know just to get to certain thing. It could be comfort, it could be friendship, or it could be anything. And then the fact that trust is invaluable and is essential to every interaction, it is also a very essential trait in a social engineering attack. Now, since the attacker is like ultimately lying to you kind of believe in, but you don't know that he's lying to you. You kind of believe that, okay, this person is trying to. Sorry, who's that? Can you guys hear me? Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I think it's just your voice from the background.
Can hear you.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, okay, because this trust, the attacker is trying to like create like a form of interaction with you. It would confidently lie to you so that you can believe in, and due to that confidence, you just like, okay, I think this person is genuine. I think this person is real. Not knowing that they've done a whole lot of research on you. They probably know what school you went to, or what's your pet's name, or they know, oh, they saw a post on social media when you're celebrating your birthday. You already picked that date, so they come to you and behave as if they know you already, and you're like, this person is supposed to know me now. This person know me. I won't believe, say, okay, let me trust this person. So these are like some of the traits of a social engineering attack. Now, let's talk about the life cycle of the social engineering attack, or the life cycle of every attack. Now, for every attack, the first stage is always the information gathering stage. Now, for this information gathering stage, the attacker makes use of different means, different ways to get information about you. It could go on social media and decide that, okay, let me gather a whole lot of information about this person, from the school to the dates to maybe the family member's name. And trust me, there are all lots of information out there for an attacker to use against the person. Even from your waste bin, an attacker can get information from you, of information about you from your waste bin. You could just go through your waste bin and get, okay, this person has to do biscuits, or this particular thing is a common thing in this person's refuge. So I want to believe this person does this all the time. So this is the person's information. The attacker, trust me, the attacker has so much time to gather a whole lot about you and use that against you. Now, the next thing the attacker does is he tries to build trust. Now, because he has gathered so much about you, trust comes to play again. He now knows that this is what you do, this is the company you work for, this is all the details about your employees, or this is the details about even up to your house or things you think nobody knows, but it's buried in the internet. The attacker will bring it out and use it against you. Now, because he has gathered this information about you, the next thing he does is he selects you as the target. And then once he selects you as the target, he now uses those information that he has gathered about you, or he now uses those information to attack you in a way. Now, if it's to be an organization, now we know a popular organization now, or organizations, tech organizations that are, will I say, firing their staffs. Let's say we have a disgruntled staff or staff among them that is not so pleased about the whole system. This staff could be the key that the attacker would use to against this organization. Let's say I work for ABC now and I got fired without they saying I do anything, or just say, okay, don't come to work, return our system, return this and return that. And I'm like really, really angry, like, why would these people do this? After giving them 100 years or so and so, is this how they want to pay me? Now, an attacker could easily use my annoyance to gather information. It could disguise and come as a journalist. It could disguise and come as in any form, or a listening ear, or even a therapist, and get information about this company up to, okay, what's the map plan of an organization? How does it look like? Or it could even disguise to say, oh, I'm calling from social board and we're trying to look into your employment contract. How can we help? And because you feel like, okay, you were fired in a way that you don't like, you decide to give the attacker information, trusting the attacker is who he says he is or who she says she is. Now, the next thing the attacker does is the exploitation stage. He has gathered information, he has selected the target, he has built an interaction or friendship or trust with the target. Now, it's now time for him to develop the stage. Now time for him to or her to use this information that it has gotten against the organization or against the person. It could decide that, okay, what I want at this stage is to extract sensitive information about this company or about this person and then use it. After this stage, the attacker goes back, or after he has finished exploiting, goes back to execute. He has gathered the information, he has built the trust, he has decided what to do, he has seen what part of you is vulnerable, or what part of the organization is vulnerable. Now he goes in, executes his plan, either to cause chaos or to steal, and then he exits and clean all traces so you won't know that he is there. He does this and he goes, or much later we discover that, oh, something has happened. Now I'll give you an example of something that happened this year. I went somewhere, and when I was coming back, I met a friend on the road, and she was crying. I was like, what happened? She said a certain bank, I won't mention the name, she woke up to see that all all the money she has been saving, that's like a savings account, has been empty. It was remaining 78 naira. The person was nice enough to give her 78 naira. And I was like, okay, what happened? How did this thing happen? She went and said, oh, she was trying to withdraw, but then there was issues. Then she called the customer service, someone picked, the person said, oh, I was going to send you a link, use this link to withdraw. Then she used the link, and then she said, and the person was like, okay, don't worry, you've done it, Abby. I'm going to, you're going to get your money now. We're having issues in our company, our internet system, or doing like a maintenance or so. And then she waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. The money never dropped. She went to the bank. The bank said they were not the one. It was just a lot of going back and forth. It was later we discovered that the person used an OPay account to extract the money from the bank. Now, in this case, this attacker did not clean up after himself, because a smooth attack or not so smooth attack would clean up after himself, will leave no traces behind, so that you will know that something has happened, or you will feel the impact of this in your account or in any way possible. Now, at this point, before I go on, I want to ask, do you have any question? Do you guys have any questions?
Personally, I don't have any questions for now.
Okay.
No question.
But do you understand? I
Yeah.
get fast, slow.
I have a question, please.
Okay.
The example you actually gave.
Yeah.
How could the lady have actually known it was it was social engineering? How could she have actually detected it was not the right channel? Because you said she called the customer care, which she must have gotten from probably the company website or the bank website or something. I don't know. How did she get to the number that she called, and I don't know, how was that done?
Now, let's say there's a type of attack called man-in-the-middle attack. Now, for man-in-the-middle attack, now the attacker obviously is intercepting the communication between you and the original source or your main source. Now, in this case, I want to believe that a man-in-the-middle attack happened. Now, why she got the customer service number offline and online on Google, she said she had to check. Why she got the real number on Google and she was trying to call. In that case, a man-in-the-middle attack would have happened. The attacker obviously had either changed a digit or changed the number to his or her own number. So she's thinking, oh, I'm calling the real customer service. Meanwhile, someone else is intercepting that call. The call is not even getting to the customer service or to the help desk. So in this case, I want to believe that a man-in-the-middle attack happened in this case. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Now, let's continue. We want to talk about the types of social engineering. Now, we have the human base, we have the computer base, and we have the mobile base. So for the human-based social engineering, it needs interaction with humans. It means like a person-to-person contact and retrieving of the desired information. Now, what this means, for this to strive or for this to successfully happen, the attacker has to create like a form of interaction with the person or with his or her target. We also have the computer-based social engineering. Now, for the computer-based social engineering, makes the use of computer software or apps that attempt to retrieve the desired information. Now, this means that there's a software in place, there's a website in place, there's a computer system in place that would assist in retrieving information or gathering information. Now, we also have the mobile-based social engineering. Now, the mobile-based social engineering, the sensitive information is gathered with the help of mobile apps. I will explain that as we go on. Now, let me explain how the human-based engineering happens. Now, human-based engineering, different techniques could be used. We have impersonation, we have eavesdropping, we have shoulder shopping, we have honey trap, we have dumpster diving, and we have a couple of others as well, which I would explain as we go on. Now, let's start with impersonation. Now, for impersonation, what the attacker does now is pretends to be someone legitimate or someone like an authorized person. Now, the attacker comes to you or interacts with you like, oh, I know you. So there's a certain SMS that I don't know, Nigerians receive, say, oh, my name is Emeka, your core member from your same platoon or your same PPA. I got your number in camp, and then there is this job that is being offered to people in oil and gas company. Obviously, many of us want oil and gas job. We want to drop oil and gas money. I don't know how many people fall victim to that, but I want to believe that many Nigerians have seen that, have come across that message at some point, or the one where someone would say, oh, meet you on the road, and, oh, I know you. And you're like, I don't know you. And the person's like, I know you, and probably mention a particular thing that you know, or a particular place that you know. That alone, the person is impersonating to be someone else. Impersonating to be someone that you probably know, someone like genuine. Now, also in impersonation, we have something called CEO fraud. But as we go on, I would explain more of that about the CEO fraud and how that is being carried out. Now, like I said, attacker impersonates a legitimate or authorized person, either personally or using communication medium such as phone, email, and such. And impersonation helps the attacker to like trick a target into revealing sensitive information. I'm sure at some point. Now, let's take a pause and ask this question. How many of you are, I won't say falling victim directly, but how many of you have come across messages or come across people who claim to know you along the way as Nigerians? Please, if you've come across, use the reaction button. Let us know how many of us. I don't want to be the only one that have come across such thing or someone claiming to be who they are not. I'm waiting for your reaction. Are you guys still with me in this class? Okay, Abraham, thank you. Abraham, do you want to explain, can you like unmute your mic and explain to us that information and what happened, what actually happened in the course of your interaction with the person?
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Hi, good evening, Abraham.
Yeah, it happened via text message. Someone who claimed to know me just dropped a message on my SMS one day. Just said, good afternoon, Abraham. This is so person. Osun State where we start together, we're in the same CDF, blah, blah, blah. Before you know, another person called me, was like, is this Abraham? Yes. Okay. And you have an account in Wema Bank? Yes. Okay. Your date of birth is this? Yes. He gave me virtually all my data. And I said, yes. Okay, what do you need? He said, okay, we'll send an OTP to you. And I just called out the number. I said, no problem. So he sent the OTP to me. He said I should call it out. I just say 11111. It was like, no. I said, that's the number that was sent to me now. Okay, we'll send another one. They sent another one. I said 0000. They did it like 3 times. But the next thing they did is Olo Buruku. They just hung up. So
Wow.
That was the experience I had.
Wow. So I think it's a common thing in Nigeria, not just in Nigeria. I want to believe it's a common thing that happens everywhere. People impersonating and people trying to be who they are not. Thank you for sharing your experience, Abraham. Now let's continue with the class. Shall trust me, we'll have a time where we all share our experience. So for now, let's just try to continue because of the time. Now, we have shoulder stopping. You see this case of shoulder stopping. I have a story, but I will try to like keep the story to like explain. Now, this is what this means is like a direct observation technique that happens with someone looking over your shoulder while you're trying to impute information such as password, pins, or account number. Or they could even do it from a distance through the use of maybe night vision or binoculars. People see binoculars. I want to look at what see binoculars or something. Now, most times, if you're in Lagos, not just Lagos, if you're in Nigeria, I would say there are so many times that someone has looked into your phone while you're trying to type or something. I'm very sure once you're sitting there in the damn phone and you're pressing your phone, maybe replying a message or trying to do something, there's always a nosy somebody that is looking over your shoulder or looking at your phone, like you guys are sharing the same phone. The phone is bought for the two of you. So this is, well, I said this is a very good example of what an attacker does. Now, the attacker would come, could be in a bus, could be anywhere, and you're pressing your phone or pressing your device. If you're trying to make an internet payment using your bank app and your phone or your device, this person is looking at your phone behind or from the side. Their eyes might not look like they're looking at you, but they're actually looking at you. My brain is shaded and they're directly looking into your phone, and you might not just even be conscious of that. But that way, the person has gotten your details, has gotten things about you, or probably gotten your friend's name or the person who you're actually chatting with. Now, we have another method called eavesdropping. Eavesdropping is an unauthorized listening of conversation or reading of messages. Still the same, almost the same thing as shoulder shopping, but in this case, the person is listening. Let's say you're in a room and you want to receive a sensitive call that involves you maybe calling numbers or something. You're there just talking, and somebody's at the door. Looking through that tiny hole in the door, putting their ears, just listen to what you're saying, listen to conversations that they are not invited to listen or they are not supposed to listen to, and trying to like gather information about you. Now, eavesdropping could also be the interception of audio, video, or written communication. It could also be done, like I said, through communication channels such as telephone lines, email, instant messaging. It could be through your social media or through telephone lines. Instead of the message you're sending going straight to the direct receiver, someone is intercepting that message and changing it to their own words or something without you knowing. Now, we have honey trap. Now, I'm sure when you hear honey and you hear trap, you're like, what is honey trap? So what honey trap is that it's an attacker pretending to be who they are not. Once again, let's say the attacker is targeting someone in ABC company, and he wants to get, let's just say, wants to get information about ABC company, wants to carry out an attack on ABC company. Now, let's just say there is a certain Mr. A that is a womanizer in that company. The attacker would pretend, let's say the attacker in this case is a female, a very beautiful female. The attacker would dress so nicely and go to the office, maybe dress seductively or something, and go to the office and say, oh, I'm here to see Mr. A. And knowing that Mr. A cannot take his eyes off anything in his kept, this is going to be a big problem for the company because the attacker is just going to be robbing Mr. A's head, and Mr. A is just going to be, his mouth to just open and release all the information about the company that is not supposed to release as well. Now, or the attacker could form a fake relationship online and then try to be your friend or anyway and gain information, more information, or sensitive information about the targets. Now, we have dumb skydiving and we have pretexting. Now, like I said, dumb skydiving, like from someone's waste bin, you could tell what kind of person they are. It's said that someone's trash is another person's treasure. Trust me, this trash and treasure comes to play in dumb skydiving. You get maybe your ATM, your POS receipt, you just throw it like that. You get an old document that you feel like, and wait till they use this document to now nothing. You don't rush it well, you don't shred it, you just carry it, dump it inside your dustbin. You will see people that usually go into the dustbin to recycle materials, to recycle things. An attacker could pretend to be a recycler and go through your trash to get even your expired ATM or the one that mistakenly fall inside there. Get receipts, get reports. In fact, there are a whole lot of things you could get. Now, aside from dumpster diving in information security or in cyber security, I know of a certain person, or I saw a certain video where this woman goes to different companies, and then she, like a sneaker company, or even I think she went to Apple at some point. She got like their waste, like that what they threw. She took it home. She started opening it. You could see a whole lot of things, paper. You could see some shoes that were just trashed, maybe because they meet the quality standard or something. And she got a whole lot of things. And she was talking about what she could gain from this if she sells it to people for low cost. Now, imagine an attacker doing that. You could imagine the number of things the attacker would get from that trash alone. It could be application, maybe a hardware application, or things, old notebooks, or different things, and through this way, we use it to gather information and use it to perform a social engineering attack. Now, we also have pretexting. Pretexting, in this sense, is pretending to be who they are not, but performing like a fraudulent phone calls, like using this to extract information about people, about things, or about a particular company, or also coming into the company, pretending and posing to be a staff of that company. Now, for fraudulent phone calls, some years back, someone who used to work for my family suddenly knocked the door one day and was like, Madam, my bank called me, say they want to close my account, and they say make I provide the name of my guarantor and the PIN of the person ATM, may I snap and send and home. Now, this conversation happened at 6:30 a.m. on a weekend. You know, after the whole week and everything, we were really tired and we just went to bed. So now my sister almost fell everything to this, like fell everything to this thing, because yes, of course, this person was working for us for quite a number of years. And then we knew, that at some point we were his guarantor because of station of things at that time. Now, she was going to snap our ATM front and back and give to him, send his WhatsApp so that he provides this person. Then she was like, oh, our battery is low, that I should use my phone to snap it. I'm like, wait, where the number in that they call you? This time I was not even in cyber security or anything, but I just felt that this was not right. ATM, CVV, why? So I was like, okay, maybe we'll call the person. So he called the people. I picked the call. I was like, hello, good morning, so. And the person went on to say, oh, I'm from Selling Bank, and then we want to close his account. His name is not correct. He needs to send somebody's this thing. I'm like, okay, from where? Okay, snap your own ID card and show me. Let me see. So we went back and forth. She ended up abusing each other. Now, let's say in this case now, nobody's aware and everybody decides to, pretend or, oh, because we want to help, decide to give the information freely. Money has gone, everything has gone, trouble. Now, also in pretexting, an attacker could use this, could form that is a worker in that factory or a worker in that company to gain entrance to a company. Now, let's say I want to perform an attack in a particular company, and then I've gathered the information. But now the next thing I need to do is to be physically inside that building so that I can trigger one or two things. I would wait at the door. I have two methods. I either wait at the door till someone comes in and comes out and see the situation of things, then sneak in, or I could pretend to be someone. If it's the bank, I could pretend to be someone, a very important person from a very from another branch, and then find my way inside and say, oh, do you know who I am? I'm so and so person from so and so branch. I'm here to perform so and so. Maybe they're even expecting someone like that, or they just grant me access without even finding out details about this thing. And from there, I could perform the social engineering attack on the company. Now, let's go to computer-based social engineering. Now, for computer-based social engineering, like I said, this method is used through the help of computers. Now, we have the instant chat messenger, we have pop-up windows, we have shareware, we have WhatsApp letters, and so much more as well. Now, for instant chat messenger, the attacker is getting information through the use of a selected chat, could be any social media chat or anything, and could ask you when you're registering, fill in your date of birth, maybe your parents' maiden name or so, and then you put it in. Now the person has gotten access to different things, different information from your life or from the organization. Now we also have pop-up windows. For pop-up windows, there are so many times when you're browsing a particular site, or this happens most especially when you're trying to download movies from a source they are not supposed to download from an illegitimate source. The system screen comes up and say virus found in your system, or something, update your system now, or your memory is full. If you by mistake click that pop-up windows, it will carry you to where you don't know, and then your information will be extracted at that point. Now, we also have shareware. Just like pop-up windows, shareware also, we have like an attacker would use malware to trick you into, or you visit a malware infected site without you knowing. And let us say, if pop-up windows have happened and you have clicked pop-up windows, it takes you to a malicious site that you don't know, but you feel like, oh, you're seeing HTTPS and then it's working well, meaning that it's a secure site. Meaning, while you're even there, your information is being extracted without you knowing that your information is being extracted, or without you knowing that something the attacker is introducing virus or malware into your system. Now we have the COAS letter as well. Now the COAS letter now is a form of computer-based social engineering that issues email, that issues like a warning email to you or to a user, and when you click it in any way, a virus or a worm is sent into your system. And of course, we have phishing. I feel like every one of us have ever worked phishing at some point. Now, phishing in this case, we're not talking about fish. We're not talking about, like call it edger, or what will I call it, or whatever fish is called in your language. Oh, someone wants to ask a question. Omomame, please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Please, can you explain scare web again? Please? Sorry for taking that. I missed the point.
Okay. Let me go back to shareware. So, like I said, shareware is a form of computer-based social engineering attack Now, what an attacker does in this case is that it tricks the user into visiting a malware infested site, a malicious site. Now, let's say you're browsing and you're trying to search something on your online, you're trying to search maybe the price of a particular shoe or something, and then you something pops up on your screen. Now I'm referring back to pop-up windows. Now something pops up on your screen and it's saying that virus is expiring in the next seconds, or your antivirus, I mean, is expiring in the next seconds, or updates your system. And you click, once you click that message that is showing on your screen, it takes you to a site. Now, this site might look legitimate, this site might look like it's genuine, but this site is infested with virus, with malware, and you're there trying to read or trying to see what's happening on the site. Before you know, or while you're still there, your information is being extracted at this point, and then the attacker is using your information or whatever you're doing at that point to do anything or to carry out their goal. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Now, let's go back to phishing. Now, like I said, we've all heard about phishing at some point. Yeah, maybe we've heard phishing from being a fisherman or something. But then in cybersecurity, there's a type of attack called phishing. Now, for a phishing attack, it's the process whereby an attacker appears to be genuine, legitimate, and he drafts an email and sends to you and say, oh, so and so, this is the email I'm sending to you. Try to do this, try to do that now. And then you probably click the email or click the link, and then it takes you to somewhere you don't know, or takes you to where you think you know at that point. Now, for phishing email, for phishing attack, it happens, or most times happens through the use of emails, and these emails contain malicious link. Once you click the link or asks you or invites you to provide information, once you click this link now, like I said, it takes you to a place that you don't know, you lose a lot of things. Now, one thing from a phishing mail is that the attacker would always pretend or always masquerade themselves that they're like this mail is coming from a trusted source or entity. Now, if you click this link that they send in this mail, maybe say, okay, you've won $50 now to redeem this to redeem the price, click the link below. Most times, once you click the link, it either freezes your system
Gracie, if you're speaking, we can't hear you. So let's just hold on a bit. I think she's having network issues.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm back. My network kicked me out. So sorry about that. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can. We can hear you.
Yeah. So I'm so sorry. My network decided to happen to me this night, but I'm back. So I was talking about spear phishing. So now for spear phishing, it's an attack that is directed to a specific individual. The attacker picks a particular individual in the organization and then they tailor their message towards this individual, either based on the job position or based on something or characteristics or things that only the individual know within the organization. Let's say we want to hack, or let's say an attacker wants to hack into a particular organization, and what the attacker does is that he looks at, let's see, do we go through someone in the technical support team or we go through someone in the accounting team? And then he tries to gather information about this person and tailor a mail to this person. Now, if this person clicks this mail, it could lead to a more disastrous end for the organization at the end of the day. So that is how a spear phishing attack happens. It's a targeted attack aimed at specific individuals within an organization. Now we have whaling attack or whaling phishing. Now for whaling is directed to the C-suite individuals. When I mean C-suite, I mean CEOs, we mean CFOs, we mean top positioned people. Now, for this case now, the attacker tries to tailor a mail to maybe the CEO of such and so company and try to see if the CEO will fall victim. If it's a CEO that is not aware, not so cyber aware at that point, it could fall victim of this attack and then the whole company could suffer a cyber attack. Now we have angler phishing. For angler phishing, this type of attack or this type of social engineering attack takes place on social media. Now the attacker initiates a trusted brand or a trusted company's customer service and then intercepts the communication with the brand or with the person or the individual organization. He just hijacked the conversation and changed the words. And so let's say so person is trying to get a brand deal from an organization and conversations have been going on and an attacker comes into the picture. Now the attacker might pretend to be maybe another company or pretend to be someone in that company and say, oh, Mrs. Omon, please send us details of your statements or send us details of this and this. If the person is not cyber aware, the person would trust that, oh, this is coming from the company. Now, for this case, I fallen victim of, I don't know, I think I've had more than one attack at some point in my life. Now, this was in 2021, 2021. Now, this time was there was a time BTC was dropping, really dropping, and selling their crypto. This company, I will mention the company. I had a wallet and I had a certain amount of BTC with them. So at that point, I was like, okay, this is the crypto. So, and also it was within the same time when the Nigerian government had banned BTC in Nigeria at that point. So there was panic, everybody was selling, people were keeping, people were buying, but just I just wanted to be on the safe side. Now, this company had a social media account or its instant chat account on Telegram. So all of us were there. And now they complained that, oh, I'm trying to access your site, but it's not working. The very wise me received a personal DM on Telegram from someone saying that he is a customer support and then he's going to try to help me to retrieve that. She just give him all the details and then do it. I fell victim, don't worry. The story is to be continued. I fell victim, I lost my money, I lost my crypto, I went back, I abused the guy. I said, oh, you stole from a poor girl, so I didn't get it back. I didn't get it back at all. So this is I would say this is an example of an angler fishing. The person was pretending to be the customer service or pretending to be the customer support person and then decided to carry out an attack on me and many other people. Now, on the screen, we have different examples of phishing, of a phishing mail or message. Now, for the pop-up window I was talking about, this is an example. It says, congratulations, you are the 1 million visitor in this week. Click OK button below and close window and contact our price department immediately. I am sure that somebody seeing this would click OK because you're hearing the word prize and everybody wants to win something. If everybody likes giveaway. Now, before I continue, there was a giveaway that was supposed to drop. I don't know if you guys received our giveaway from Cybersechaven. Please, if you received our giveaway, please let me know at this point. Did any of you receive our giveaway? Kindly unmute. Did you receive our giveaway or not? Kindly unmute. Did anybody receive it? Someone is supposed to drop the link to giveaway.
Yeah, I received it too.
How many of you received it? How
We
many
received
of
your,
you?
we received your
Many,
setup.
many of us. Many of us.
Now, first of all, disclaimer, your information was not, none of your information was compromised. I just wanted to, we're supposed to do that before class. So I just wanted to test you guys' knowledge on the word social engineering. I'm sure you received a message that you've just been fished. Please go back to class and continue listening. Now, in this case, I'm pretending to be an attacker. And because it's coming from me, which is like a trusted source, knowing that your lead admin is not going to fish you guys, many of you fell victim into that. If it was to be an attacker now, it's pretending to be someone in the admin team of Cybersechaven. And it's like, okay, or I'm sending out a message, a real giveaway this time, and someone else is intercepting the message and creating a malicious link on that. I'm sure by now, many of us will probably be cursing and this place will be in chaos. But thank God for God, well, nothing happened, but you people felt everything. So that's just an example of the giveaway I had in mind for you people and you people felt everything. Congratulations, you've been fished. Now let's go back to class. Now, like I said, wanted to say something. Please kindly hold on. I have like the harmful and malicious software detected. This a case of scareware acting for explanation on a scareware. This is an example of a scareware as well, or a pop-up window. And yes, this is a phishing mail. Now, in this case, attacker is pretending to be a legitimate source, pretending to be Microsoft, and we could see the email address, we could see the link and everything. It looks genuine, by the way. It looks like, oh, your Microsoft account is about to expire due to inactivity. And since many of us use Microsoft products, I'm sure if you're not careful, you'll fall victim to this. We have Netflix as well. We have, yes, this is the message. Hi, Bukumi. Good morning. It's me, Emmanuel Eze, your 2021 copper mate at Status. I'm working with Shell SPDC, oil and gas company in River State. Have you started working? If not now, for more details, because internal employment is going on now and it's very urgent. I am very sure many of us have received this kind of message time and time again. Now, how then do you spot efficient? So I'm just going to run through this because at times, how do you spot efficient meal? Every species there always a genetic. Now, hi. So I'm sorry, network kicked me out again. I don't know what's going on with tonight's network, but I will try as much as possible. Please can you enable me so I can share my screen? Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
So I'm just going to continue, but I can't share my screen at the moment. Please, Cybersechaven, please kindly make me post so that I can share my screen. And I'm sorry for the interruption. I've changed my network like 2 times now to 2 different networks, but I don't know what's happening. So I'm just going to continue. I can record as well. So I don't know if you guys can give me 5 minutes so I can get someone to make me post, or should just continue the class. Should we just continue the class without the video and recording, or
I think the video makes the class more interesting.
Sorry, I would suggest, since you are yet to get access to sharing, why not just continue? Then when you have access, you can share.
Okay, I can share now. Don't worry. Thank you very much for your session. Can you guys see my screen now?
No, not yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was talking about how to spot a phishing mail. Now, I said something about generic greeting. Now, generic greeting in this sense, now there is always one kind of way a phishing mail, but sometimes they would know your name. You'll be shocked that they know your name, your full name, because they've gathered information about you. But there's always the presence of a generic greeting. It could be hello, could be hi, it could be something else. So you see a generic greeting in a phishing mail. Now, also, we have the presence of a malicious link. Now, I will go back here to show you an example of a malicious link. Now, For instance, I don't know if you guys can see my screen. Now, let's say this is an example. Okay, this is a perfect example of a phishing mail or pop-up screen or social engineered technique. Now, let's say I get this message and I click this link. I click OK. Obviously, OK contains a malicious link. Also, see this now. If I click this as well, it contains a malicious link. Also, you would see wrong spelling, misspelled word. So I'm going to try example now. See this of sorry, I don't know. I think I'm pressing the wrong thing. Now see this now. Unfortunately, we cannot authorize your payment. If you keep looking, you will see mistakes. But the thing is, threat actors, attackers are becoming wiser each day, and as technology is becoming sophisticated, so is threat attack, so is cyber attack becoming sophisticated as well. But one thing you would always see is the presence of a misspelled word. Richard, sorry, what's the
Yes.
question?
Sorry. All what you said earlier, I could barely hear you because of the network. So please, can you like take all those things again?
Okay, I would try to do that all over again. Yeah, so I said in every phishing mail, you would always see generic greetings. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, so in every phishing mail, you always see a generic greeting. Now, generic greeting in the sense could be hi, could be hello. If the attacker is really, really wise at that point, could even use your real name. Now, a social engineering attack could either be targeted, or will I say a phishing attack would either come as a spam messages. The attacker might say to just spread the messages, the mail, to random people and see who fall victims, or would send the messages or a phishing mail to a target. So it either comes in both ways. If you are the target, he or she or the attacker will try to mention your name in the mail and you'll be surprised. For example, we see here, hi Bukumi. I want to believe this name is Bukumi, not Bukumi, or I don't know if there's a name like that. Okay, now there's killing. We have Bukumi and we have Bukumi. Now, the attacker in this case obviously has gotten information about Bukumi and I've gathered information and decided to okay, let me just try this out on Bukumi and see. But in this case of this Netflix example, the attacker just sent a generic mail, using a generic greeting as I. Also, another thing to notice in a phishing mail is the presence of a malicious link. In every phishing mail, there's always a link that the attacker is urging you to click. Now, in this case, you have simply click and log into your software account. If because of time constraint, I would have done a live example or a live demo of a phishing analysis for you guys to see a phishing, a malicious link, what it actually looks like or what it actually contains. Let's see how time goes. I would see if I can run through that. But if not, we would do that some other time as well. Okay, we have dangerous spy attachments. Now, what an attacker does is sometimes in the mail or whatever they're sending to you, they could make use of Microsoft Words, they could make use of a Word document or an Excel file. And then once you try to download this file because of curiosity, because we are humans and we're curious about things, once you download it into your system, you're downloading a malware, you're downloading a worm into your system without you knowing. Now, there's inconsistency in email address, links, and domain names. So I'm going to go back to this and show you an example of the inconsistency. Now, this message or this email is supposedly coming from Netflix. But if you notice something here, from the sender of the email, we have Rama/Kapul, yeah, something. If you look at it very well, you will see that it's supposed to come from Netflix support or Netflix something, but it's coming from a Rama. This shows that there's something fishy going on about this video. Now we also have extreme emotions. We have requests for sensitive information. Now I'm going to go back here to extreme, and in case of an extreme emotion, I will show you something. And okay, now this is it. For example, we have this. Congratulations, you are the 1 million visitor this week. What this attacker is trying to create or in you is a form of excitement. Anybody saying this, like, I'll be 1 million visitor, something is going on, there is a prize, obviously you'll be happy. Just like when we said, oh, there was a giveaway for this class. I am very sure many of us came to class early today because of giveaway. But mind you, I will run belle. So be careful with the amount of giveaway you want to win for yourself. There are times when, okay, on social media, on Twitter, I think during COVID, or even apart from COVID, there are times when a particular celebrity or a particular person or anybody will say, okay, retweet, like, and follow to win, and so. And you will see people dropping their account number left, right, and center. Or they would say, find your birthday mates. Somebody will drop their full birthday, 19th March, 90 Kokoro. They will drop it on a public site so everybody can see. And I'm very sure if you're not careful that detail is part of somebody's password. And an attacker can use that for whatever reason he wants to use that for. Now let's quickly run through the mobile-based social engineering attack. Now for the mobile-based social engineering attack, what the attacker does is that it creates a malicious app with attractive features and similar names to popular apps, and then publish them in major app stores. Now in this case, the attacker is like, okay, one way can I use to trick these people into believing that I am genuine, or into believing that, okay, this is coming from a genuine source. Now, in this case, it creates and maybe a site, maybe a dating site, or create maybe a game site or whatever, and publish it on maybe Play Store, or even publish it, or not just Play Store, publish it in maybe App Store or in any other store around, gaming store, software store, and you go there, you download, thinking you're downloading the genuine app and you want to test it, not knowing that you're downloading an app that is infected with malware. Now, so this is it. This is a graphical example of what I'm trying to portray here is an example of how an attacker creates an application and repackage it as a legitimate app. Now, in this case, we see from step one, it creates a malicious app. Then, in this case, it's creating a malicious gaming app. Maybe you play to win, or you play to get paid. Now you say, okay, if I play this so amount of time, I get so amount of dollars. So I get so amount of foreign currency or local currency. Now, it then publish this app on let's say Google Play Store or something. And when it publishes this, there's this innocent user somewhere, just out of boredom or something, or curiosity. And they say people are downloading this app and they're getting paid for it. It goes on App Store or Play Store, downloads this app. Now, When you download the app, the attacker asks you to fill in your details, verify your username, password, or so. Now, in this case, many people are falling victim of an attack in this case because they probably use the same password or the same username in everything, and the attacker gets your credentials when you register on this app. Now, the next thing to see now is that the legit, or this is just one example now, the packaging a legitimate app. Now, a legitimate developer is somewhere creating an app, a gaming app, or creating for everyone, upload such app on the mobile play store. An attacker sees this app. Maybe there's a back door in this app. The app is vulnerable. It looks at this app, look at it, repackage it, puts his malware into it. Then the third party sees this app, put it out there and say, oh, this is the best app, gives it sufficient rating, good rating. You go there, you download, and the next thing, your credentials, instead of going to the developing company, it goes to the attacker, and he uses that information that he has gotten for his own purpose, either sells it on dark web or just do whatever he wants with it. Elua, please kindly hold on because of time constraint. Please, I will attend to your questions soon. Just hold on, I'm trying to wrap up. Now, we also have smishing and phishing. Now, for smishing, in this case, the attacker makes use of text messages, makes use of a mobile app or a web link just to carry out their fraudulent act. Now, the phishing or the smishing victims are deceived into giving information to the disguised attacker. Now, the message can come in form of your bank or something, or a non-channel or book SMS, and say that, oh, do this to win this, or the federal government is giving out COVID package to people. Register your details below, or press 1 or press 2 to get access to funds. An innocent user or someone else click the link or press something, and then the information is all out there. Now, we also have phishing. In this case, is a voice phishing. Is the use of phone calls or automated phone calls to get information about a person, sensitive information. Now, the attacker pretends to be a customer service or customer support person and asks you that, oh, Mr. A and B, kindly, your account needs an upgrade. Kindly provide your PIN, your CVV, your complete number, your verification code. And then this person falls victim. Mind you, your bank will never call you to provide such details. No bank will call you to provide such details about anything. Nobody will call you. If you're getting, or if you've gotten an SMS or gotten something that someone is saying that, oh, come and upgrade your bank or come and upgrade, I would advise you to go into the bank itself and make inquiries. Don't be too hasty to say, oh, they want to close my account, and then you fall victim. Try not to do that. Now, the impact of the social engineering attack, obviously we have financial loss. A company could lose tons and tons and tons of billions of naira or of whatever currency. They could lose that in a matter of minutes and seconds. We have loss of privacy. Now, once your information is out there, they decide to do whatever they like with your information. And when they do that, obviously you don't have that privacy again. The privacy is no longer yours again because you're falling victim to that. Now you have reputational damage. So for reputational damage, now once the attacker is to be a particular game developer or game developing company out there, and any part falling victim of data breaches or any cyber attack. If not careful, the reputation of the company can never be the same again because something has happened. A lot of people have lost their information, or when they're supposed to get sensitive, when their information is supposed to be readily available to them, or confidentially available to them according to the Sky triad, it's not there. There is no there's a whole lot of data breaches. It is not getting the information. The information is out there. It's not available when he or she needs it. Obviously, the customer would not want to do anything with that company again. Now we have lawsuits, we have operational disruption. Now, in this case, when a company suffers a cyber attack or when an individual suffers a cyber attack, at that point, everything is in chaos. They're trying to stop information from going out. Business will not continue as usual. There will be a lot of people trying to stop this, people shouting at the same time, people trying to calm a whole lot of customers, and then the operation of the business will not go in the usual way, will not be as it's supposed to be. Now, how to prevent a social engineering attack? To prevent a social engineering attack, I would say the first thing, think before you click. Before you click anything, stop and think. Ask yourself this question: are my emotion heightened? Does this message come from a legitimate source? Or is this person that is claiming to be this person, is this person who they say they are? Also, if the message is saying, oh, I'm your friend, try to call that friend and ask that friend, is this message coming from you? Are you so person? Because I'm receiving a message and this person that is coming from you. So try to stop and think, try to verify if the message is coming from the right source. Know the red flags. I already said in every phishing mail, there are some certain things you would see in almost every phishing mail. You will see generic greeting, misspelled words. If you put your arrow, your key mouse this thing over the email, you will see that the email is totally different from the domain name, and the email sender is totally different from who they are claiming to be. Then access the sender. Now, for this phishing mail or link that was sent out, I've just popped a little story. Now, when we were creating this, myself and one of the team members, when we were creating this, after he finished doing work on it, he sent to me, I have like a very healthy amount of paranoia. Even if you send me a mail before a link, before I will click on it, I will say, you open it first. Tell me what is in there. Tell me before I open it. When he sent it to me, I took that link. I went to virus photo. I went to a screenshot. I said, guy, this thing contains this stuff. It was like, oh, it's this and that. I had to make sure it's clear, it's clean. Ran it, did several checks on it to be sure that this is not taking me to where I don't know. Now, the next way to prevent social engineering attack is okay. Report. Raise your voice. In fact, if you're getting something that you don't know from someone that is claiming to be maybe a bank, my dear, I would say at this point, don't keep quiet and say, oh, let me keep quiet. At least I did not fall victim. You talking, you reporting that link, you reporting that message could save thousands of lives from falling victims to such attack. So if there's a way for you to report a phishing mail, report. If you get one, report and don't keep quiet about it. Now, we also have zero trust mindset. Now, for zero trust mindset, like I said, have a healthy amount of paranoia. I'm not expecting you to say, oh, I don't trust anybody, or I don't do this and do that. But at some point, balance it up. If you're getting messages from people that you don't know, don't just claim that, this name look familiar now. And my guy now, I know this person for camp. Okay now, website now, Shell now, may I trust this person? Please don't trust anybody like that in terms of you're getting things that or getting kind of prices or package that you don't understand. Now, I will also say turn on multi-factor authentication and have a strong password. For multi-factor authentication, you have something you it's usually something you are, something you have, and something you know. Now, I'm supposed to explain that we have another topic, but because of time, I won't go into full details about that. Now, I would also say have an antivirus installed on your system, on your phone, and also keep your software updated. Don't just say, oh, okay, I've downloaded this now. Okay, it will download itself. Please always download your software. Always update your software. Always update apps on your phone because the companies that are sending you an update is trying to prevent you from being vulnerable to different attacks in this case. Okay, now for vision now confirm with whom you're speaking to before you just go wow open your mouth and give details. Confirm if the source is genuine. Have a policy to not to provide information to unknown callers. If that friend or someone is trying to play prank on you or pretending to someone, have like a policy that you're not going to just open your mouth and provide information as well. Now, for physical security or impersonation, have a strict physical security policy. Don't be too polite. And I would say ask for a means of identification, even though we know attackers cyber attacks are sophisticated these days. Someone can print a card and pretend to be who they are not, but have a way that you could check that this person is who they are. And also don't allow, like for organizations, so most of us who order for food or order for things, you can say, oh, I want to check this or I want to use the restroom, and you're leaving a stranger or a delivery person in your office for that next seconds. You don't know what the person is capable of doing. You don't know if there's a document or your system is turned on and the person is just there to carry out something that you don't know or something sensitive from your desk. You don't know what's happening. So try to like see your strangers or delivery people outside, not inside your office where you have sensitive things. I will also say educate companies or organizations or people should try to educate users on red flags and things to look out for. Frequently perform phishing simulation as well. And also, I would say for password policies, try to change your password periodically, avoid guessable password, create like a policy that an account that is trying to log in that restricts attempts, failed attempts. Let's say after 2 or 3 times of you trying, it just automatically locks the account instead of it giving it like a straight access as well. Then try to make your password lengthy as possible. Don't make it be a guessable word, and as well as the defense strategy, try to like create like a social engineering campaign for organizations as well. Yeah, so I would say at this point, do we have any questions? If you have a question, Elua, I think you're raising your hand. Please, if you have a question, let me know. Do you guys have any questions? Can you guys hear me? Yeah, Elua, please go ahead.
Yes.
We can hear you.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yeah.
No? All right. Please, you said something about the packaging of apps. Okay. So my question is this: I want to know how come Google allows all these malicious apps to be uploaded on Play Store? Does if they're really aware that these apps have been repackaged, so how come is possible to allow such?
Now, to answer your question, I would say, remember I said something. I said repackaging of legitimate software or
Yeah.
apps. Now, in this case,
Yeah.
now the attacker will not come and tell you that, oh, what I have is illegitimate or is it contains malicious codes. They won't come out and tell you straight. They would create the app or create the software in the sense that if you look at it, even if you're not careful, after going through some certain quality controls and all, it will pass it. In that case, so how for Google, like Google is a third party. I want to believe Google is a third party, let's say user or company. So in this sense, the attacker is putting it out there as its journey. So after so much maybe bad ratings or such from people or complaints from people, they would now redo it to see, okay, this thing is okay. There are too many bad comments or too many bad ratings. Let's yank this thing off our site. I don't know if I'm able to explain it in a way that you understand.
Yes, ma. Yes, it's okay, ma. It's okay.
Okay. Richard, please go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, good evening, Grace. Well done. Thank you for the class. So my question, right? I don't know if this question is relating to what you've been saying so far, but I would want you to just give me a reply. Can this social engineering, can it be done under duress? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Hello.
Can it be done under duress? Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yes. So I said
from the attacker.
Yes, duress from the attacker. Is it possible?
Now, so on part of the attacker, I won't say it's done under duress because obviously the attacker will take his time, or it could even he has all the time in the world. I could say it has like months or stages of planning, of gathering information about his targets. Now, but for the victim, could it be under duress? For the victim, I would say, in this sense, I would say it's a form of emotions. Emotions come to play for the victim. Now, either the victim is having some site of some kind of heightened emotion in the sense that, oh, excitement is created. I've won so and so. Excuse me. I've won so and so amount of money. If I don't, because for that social engineering attack or for that phishing attack at that point, there's like a time base, there's like an urgency for you to do, for you to click, or for you to do a particular thing. So at that point now, I would say, I don't know if I want to call this duress, but because there is there's an urgency for you to do something, and nobody wants to carry last, nobody wants to do, especially when there's a prize or there's a money involved in this thing. I don't know whether to call that duress, but I'm very, very sure that the person will fall victim or the person would click.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So do you have any other questions? Anybody? I don't know if I was able to answer your question, Richard.
Yes, you did. You did. I got my reply already. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Do we have any other questions? If we don't have any question, this class is supposed to end in 1 hour, 30 minutes, and somehow we're supposed to do two topics today, but because it's a very wide uh, topic, we're doing just one. So I would provide us with the slide and the recordings to this class. For the other topic, we're supposed to talk about passwords. I don't know because time is far gone. I don't know if the admins will give us the privilege to just run this in a few minutes, or we create another time for us to run this. I don't know if any of the admins are online. Leonard, are you online? So once I get like a response from the admins for the second um topic that we're supposed to talk about, I would create another time. I would ask for another time where we can talk more about password, share current statistics on password, and also talk about real life cyber attacks that happened with the use of leakage of password and data breaches. So until then, I don't know. I don't know if we should continue with the class or let's call it a night, or anybody wants to share experience in regards to social engineering. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, Idris, then go ahead, please.
Yeah, good evening. I really appreciate the time you put in for this. Thank you very much. My question is this, if there is any phishing message, or let me say I receive a mail with link which says I should click on the link, how will I know if the message emanated from a resource? Is there any site or application that I can copy the link to, so I can check if the mail emanated from a resource? Thank you.
Okay. Now to answer your question, just give me I'm sorry, I'm trying to, I cannot minimize. Okay, just hold on. I want to share my screen and I would try to quickly carry out a phishing analysis and show you how you can notice, or how you can see if a phishing this thing is if a mail or a link is corrupted or not. So just hold on. I'm trying to look for a particular file I can use for this particular this thing. So I'm going to explain to you guys. I mean, I'm trying to, okay. So I'm going to share my screen now and just quickly do a phishing analysis. So, okay. I don't know, can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see my screen? Please
Yes.
confirm if you
Yes,
can
we
see
can.
me.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Yeah, so I'm going
Yes.
to, this is not part of, I'm trying to like manage time, but this is not part of like the curriculum. I'm just going to show you, I'm just going to try to do a phishing analysis to you guys, a live demo on this. So what you're looking at now is a phishing mail, a phishing file that was downloaded from a particular case, and the user got this phishing mail and sent it to the SOC team. Now, the SOC team is the Security Operations Center. Now, when they got this, they tried to analyze this email and try to analyze this message. Now, what this looks like is this is the phishing mail. You can see the sender of the mail, the receiver, the subject, and try to see the content of the mail as well. Now, for this now, we have, sorry, just hold on. I'm going to try as much. I don't think I have the original file. I'm going to try to open it somewhere. So, first of all, if you're carrying out a phishing analysis, it's not okay for you to open it on your system directly. You have to open it on using your virtual machine. Now, I'm going to try as much as possible to break this down in simple terms. Now, what we're looking at is a phishing mail. I opened this on my notepad. I'm going to use the Windows notepad to explain one or two things. Now, from here straight down, just hold on, I will try to explain. From here straight down to here, this is the email header. This contains the information. Now, and this information, this email header, we could see when it was delivered, who received the mail, the protocols that this mail passed through. Now, and because it's a beginner class, I'm going to try to break things down as much as possible so you guys can understand. Now, we have certain protocols that are in place when you receive a particular mail from people. Also, we have the DKIRM, we have the STP. I'm trying as much as possible to break this down to a way that you people will understand. Now, for the DKIM now, that means the domain key identified mail. So what this is the protocol that is in place that allows organizations to take responsibility for an email when transmitting an email. Now, we also have other protocols in place, but I'll try not to bore you guys with that. Now, for this mail that we're looking at now, this is me opening this mail in a notepad. Well, originally, this is what the mail looks like. This is how the mail will appear in your inbox. This is how it's going to appear. Like now, for this mail, it contained a link. It's a light source. I'm going to try as much as possible not to click it. Now, this is the link. It says good earnings from $6,500 per day. Now, this is the attachment that is in this mail, that is in this phishing mail. I'm going to analyze this carefully. Let's copy this. Now I'm going to go. So for carrying out most of the time when I get a link that I don't know, even other links, I try to run a check on this link. I use virus filter. So virus filter is an open source tools that help you analyze suspicious email files and links. I'm going to go to virus filter, paste that attachment to that file, then press enter and allow it to run a check. Now, what this does now is showing off that it ran through different them. If you see, these are different aspects. One came out as a phishing mail, that's spotting it, and it's showing that it's been flagged as malicious. That's that link from that phishing mail. Now, if you are a user now and you get a mail, you could use virus filter, but you have to be careful not to click on that link. You have to be extremely careful because once you click on it, it will take you to the wrong place and then your information could get corrupted at that point. The system could get corrupted. Now, I'm doing this because I've run several checks on it and I've gotten like some trainings on how to analyze a phishing mail as well. Now, this is me using one of the tools. I can decide to go and use another tool now and it will show me a higher percentage of this link and show me other things as well. So I could recommend you use virus filter if you know how to use it to check for links and to check for mail. So we have other ones. We have URL scan and other open source tools that you could use as well. I don't know. Have I been able to answer your question? I'm sorry, who asked the question? Was I able to answer?
I think the person who asked the question left already, right? So.
Okay. Yeah, but for the rest of the class, was I able to answer the question?
Yeah, you were able to do justice to it. Thank you.
Yeah. So I think it's time for us to call it a night. It's wonderful having you guys. Thank you all for attending to this class. And thank you for having me. I'm really, really grateful for this opportunity to share my knowledge. Yeah. So if you have any other questions, you could put it in the group and then we'll try to answer your question there. Who's this person? Ahmed said he does not understand the explanation because my voice went low at some point. Ahmed, I don't know what parts you missed out at all, but we'll provide recordings to this session so that you will try to go through it as well. We've spent more than we're supposed to spend tonight, so thank you everyone. I really appreciate it. Please try to fill the attendance sheet, and if you have any complaints or any such, please send a mail to admin@cybersechaven.com. Thank you very much. You have a lovely night.
You too. Good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry. When you're receiving the mail tomorrow, there'll be assignments. I'll be giving out assignments.